Okay, we have started hiatus leg 2, which I'm surprised we're still here. Our first day was just miserable getting in here. We had so many issues go on, but opening morning, a lot of deer on this face of this thing we're picking apart, and now we just picked up, I think there's 5 bucks up here, and from this distance we're still a long way off. There's one in there at a 4-point that looks pretty good, so I think what we're going to do is go in there and close this gap a little bit and get a closer eye on him and see if he really is as good as we think he is from this distance. He's definitely a 4-point, maybe 26 wide, some good height, and like I say, there's 5 of them running together right now, but we're not sure where they're going to go, so we're going to close the gap a little bit and keep an eye on him, see if we can get in there and see how big he is close up. Buckied up here. There's 2 we still caught out here. We don't know where the other 3 went right now. By the time we got up here, they're in a little pocket of cedars. It looks like they're gonna bed there. He's a good-looking buck. He's an older buck. Kind of short on the right side. Left side looks very solid. Right side's okay. It's just not as tall as the other one, so we gotta let him bed, kind of talk about it a little bit. We can't tell exactly how he's gonna score. It's first day. I really don't know if I want to shoot him yet, but he's a solid buck, don't get me wrong. We don't know what else is here. We've never been to this unit before, so we're just kind of first timers in this unit, but it seems like this hill's loaded with deer, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant on opening morning. He's the one I want to pull a trigger on, but there is another group of guys on the same face with us somewhere. So we'll talk about it a little bit and see what we think. I think they're almost at the top now. So I don't know. We're going to sit here and talk about it because I don't think they're going to go over this hill. I think they're going to pocket in there and lay down for a little bit. So we'll have a powwow and look them over on video. Well, they're bedded where we thought they would bed. I hate this. It's opening day. We could kill this buck in the next couple hours because they're not going to move until that sun shifts on them and they rebed. But opening morning, I mean, he's a great 4-by, 1-eye guard. It's just we don't know what else is here. We've never been here. Is this good for this unit? Is there bigger for this unit? I mean, we saw deer all morning. Saw a decent amount of bucks, but just deer everywhere. So I'm waiting to get feedback from the team, but nobody's answering our text, so we sent the video out, and no one's giving me any feedback. So I'm kind of pissed off at everybody right now. Shane's not giving me an answer. He's like, he's a good buck. There could be bigger, so that doesn't help me one bit. So we're gonna wait. They're not going till that sun shifts. See what the TAW team replies with, and then we'll make a decision, because we'll probably move to the next ridge in front of us. We're at 695 right now. Shane likes to get camera work under 6, so the next ridge will bring us easily into 300. So we got time. They're not moving. I just don't know if there's that other group of guys up here, if they're going to be up here every day too. Somebody's going to shoot this buck if I don't, but I don't know. Help me. Someone reply. Oh, I hate this. Well, I'm no better off than I was when people called back in. Shane is absolutely no help. He just said, well, I hope this pans out for him good. I think opening morning I'm gonna lean towards the pass on this one. Like I say, he's a great buck. I don't know if he'll be here in 2 days. He'll probably be dead, but It's opening morning. We've been seeing a lot of good numbers of deer. I think we're gonna hit this face of this hill pretty good. Best of luck, buddy. Car crash. Because he looks like he got hit by a car and he's all lopsided, but I think we're gonna let him walk on opening morning. A new area over here in the burn area. We're up higher, so we'll find out tonight if there's any deer high. Found a boatload low, so yesterday night we were a little higher country too, and only 1 or 2 small bucks. So let's see if there's any on this side over here. Or I mean, another spot it looks like it would hold big mature bucks, so we'll know in the next couple hours. Alright, well, I'm cooking dinner again tonight. Shane found 2 bucks way the hell up in a little crack up in there. Couldn't figure out what they were staring at the whole time, but then we glassed up somebody down below that shot a little dink deer, so they must have spooked him, and believe it or not, they went straight up to the highest peak in the unit, 9,400, and right over the top. So that was the only 2 bucks we've seen so far. It's a little more crowded over here on this side in this burn. There's a couple dudes posted up by their vehicles glassing. I'm gonna stick it out tonight, see what else pops up when that sun starts going down. And then, oh no, there's another spot over to the east over here, or the west, I'm sorry. We might walk into one day in the morning maybe. Looks really good in there and burns, so let's see what else shows its head tonight, and we'll make a decision on this area. Got a lot of deer this morning, some bucks mixed in, got the back pocket buck still over here. Seems like we got this face kind of to ourselves. Thinking about shooting a forked horn soon. No, just kidding. Seeing a lot of deer, just kind of, with only being, a limited amount of tags in here, we were kind of hoping we'd see some bigger groups of bigger bucks, but happy with the return that we've been getting on deer. Like I say, we see bucks every time we're out. We're just not finding that one shooter caliber for the beginning of the trip. He's got to really stand out in the beginning, so we know where this guy's at. If we can't turn up anything else, we're going to try. I think we've been in 3 different spots so far since opener, or no, 2. So tonight we're going to probably go on the back side of this and scope out the back side of this, because we've seen a lot of overtop traffic go over, so maybe it's got a little more tree cover on the back. But all in all, we're seeing a bunch of deer, just hoping for that big shooter in the beginning. If not, we'll come back to here later. First bike day out. A little brutal coming up. Got a nice sweat going, and forgot all my shirts at camp today, so I'm gonna squeeze into one of Shane's mediums. That'll be fun, and hopefully I won't freeze to death. So I told Shane I'm sure we're gonna kill a buck tonight, and I have no clothes, so I'll be out here till like 10 o'clock. New area, a lot of open hillsides mixed in with some J&P mid-level stuff, so let's see what this one turns up. kind of slow. Try some new spots, kind of. Things were misleading on Onyx. Some of the roads didn't take us to spots we thought were on there, so we backed out of there today, trying to kind of a mid to upper level area over here this morning. Looks really good again. Every spot we've been has been great looking for big mule deer, so we're going to pick this side apart here a little bit when the sun rises, and if nothing's here, go up over on the top, and a bunch of drainages on the backside. We're going to walk along the ridge and glass into all those. So hopefully we can turn something up here on the front. If not, we're moving. Moving up. Well, another spot that looks like it should have held some good deer back here. Shane picked up a couple tight small rack bucks way off, but nothing worth pursuing. Long way away. We just can't figure out where the big ones are hanging. I mean, we've tried high, we've tried mid, we've tried J&P burn. That's where we've seen the most, but just not any giants yet. We tried the high stuff where it looks like should hold some big old mature bucks, and saw everything else: moose, elk, and no deer. So we are very confused on what to try next for this afternoon. So I guess we'll head back to camp, have a little chit chat, look at the maps, try to figure out a place we haven't been yet, and see what we can turn up there. Bye. He's even smaller than Krabby in the back. Alright, rough day today. One 4x3. I don't even remember if we saw any bucks this morning. If we did, they were little. Tried this beautiful high country again, and didn't see the first buck step out till probably 6:40 tonight, and he didn't move more than 20 feet, and then he bedded down again after he ate a little bit. Talking the tent tonight to figure out what the hell the plan's gonna be. We're talking now. Maybe I should have come at the back end, see if it gets closer to the rut or not. The day was hot sitting up here glassing all day, so I'm sure the heat's keeping him in. Like I say, he didn't come out till 6:40, and now he's not even moving around anymore. He just dropped down and laid in his bed again. So we'll talk tonight. So we got some bucks way back here. Let's see what that one is walking in. Can't tell if he's a 3-point or a forked horn. There's one bedded. Can't tell if they're new deer or part of the group Shane saw the other day. The sun might help us here. What the heck are they looking at? Still so far for me to tell. I'll have Shane look at this one. It's thicker, I'd think about it, but he's kind of spindly. He's ready to fight though. He's keeps giving everybody the stare down. So he's got to be the big boy in the group. He's trying to pick fights. 3 bucks in the scope, but we think there's a couple more that went down into the crack. There's a real tall 3-point over here, but
Nothing with any mass on them. None of these deer that we found yet this year. So we're waiting to see if anything else comes out of this crack. He's kind of the hill bully over there, picking on everybody right now, so things must be getting closer to rut for him in the next couple weeks. But he's staring down everybody that's walking around. So I don't know what we'll do. Hang tight here for a minute and see if anything else pops out. Well, old crab dip's still there, back pocket deer. I was getting a little worried somebody got up there and messed him around, but I think he's starting to get a little irritated with these other guys because he's kind of separated himself from them. So good to know he's still there, hasn't been messed with. But the way he's acting right now, he's like, I need to get away from these guys. He's a good looking buck. They're all thin horned this year. We can't find anything with some meat. Oh no, he's walking away from these guys. He's really growing tired of this group. He's heading into the junipers, it looks like, away from them. Maybe he's going to try to ditch them in there. But he's still there. So it's good to know back pocket deer's there for another day or two. Turned up some more bucks. I don't know what we got to do to find some big boys. Everything's the same size. Thickness 3 points, tight 4 points. We're going to try the backside tonight of this hill we've been seeing. All these, I don't even know what size you'd call them, just general 3 to 4 year old bucks. Can't lay any eyes on any mass girth to any of these animals out here, and we're not quite sure why. So the search continues. We're going to try the backside tonight, pick that apart. Strategy maybe in the morning is go up on this face, look into all these cracks that we can't see in the bottom, and maybe these bigger bucks are just staying in the bottom of these cracks and not even feeding up high enough for us to pick them up with glass. So plan B is backside tonight. We had seen some traffic, a lot of deer coming and going onto the backside, so we're going to pick this whole backside apart, and then plan B, or tomorrow plan A might be move in, start looking down in the bottom of these things and see if we're seeing any different quality deer down in the bottom. Hang with us. Hopefully we'll be getting a buck on the ground here soon. Crab dip is still here. We're not quite sure how long. He just went into the junipers with all his little buddies, and then I checked back, and all of a sudden the whole trees exploded. They all came running out, and then he was up there posturing around, walking around, and all of them staring at him. But then they all went back into the little pocket of J&P. So maybe a day or two more, and then he's not going to put up with the youngsters' shenanigans and probably break off from him. We don't know if he'll stay in that general draw up there or not, so he might have to be a Wednesday morning if we don't turn anything else up, because we got to get moving on towards Shane's hunt. Hang with us. That'll be different bucks. Of course, right before dark. 4 bucks. Way down at the bottom, where we haven't seen any deer yet. It looks like there's one mature deer in there that kind of deserves another look in the morning. Like I say, it was 7 o'clock, and I think now it's 7:30, so we would have never made it from all the way on top of this hill to down to where he was at. So I think what we're going to try to do is come in on that high top above him and see if he's there in the morning with his buddies, at least get another look at him. And he's a mature buck. He's a giant body. I mean, he's probably a freaking 225 pound body, if not more, but same thing. 22, 23 inch rack. Good shape on this one. It might be our only size caliber bucks right now, because people we talked to said 3 years ago they struggled to find a deer, so we're seeing a lot of that 3 to 4 year old buck right now. I mean, so it's going to be great from here on out, but same caliber, same all over the hill. So hopefully we'll get a look at him in the morning and make a decision and see if he's any better than crab dip. Caught him coming down off that second juniper ridge over there. He's all fired up, raking trees, pushing those other bucks around. He's kind of got ring around the rosy last night by, so they're all scared of him. We just watched him bed down. He's like 695 right now with a ridge in between us and deer in between us. So I think the plan is to see if he sits there for a little bit and then relocates, close the distance, and see if we can get a shot on him. He's definitely probably the best buck we've seen out here. He's got mass. Front forks are great. Don't know what happened to the back ends. They're a little smaller, but all in all, he's the best buck we've seen out here, and we're coming to an end here soon. So I think if we can pull this off, I'm gonna take a shot at him. Good buck. Wow. We had that buck. You bet it. On the good side, we need it away from us. Down in the bottom of the drainage. Shane went over to see if it was closer down off the ridge, and he got to 580. Came back to get me, and by the time Shane came back to me, I was glassing him, watching him. Stood up, scratched, and went down into the crack, and now he's disappeared. I mean, we know he's still there, but he tucked himself into the dark stuff in the bottom of this drainage. It's not going to come out till later today, so we know where he's at. I think we're going to shoot him tonight if he comes out of there. Best buck we've seen. Thickness is good. It's just every deer we've seen up here is very tight. He's a good 4x. So I think the plan is to come back up here tonight, get up here early afternoon, and just sit here and wait for him to start moving. There's about 4 or 5 bucks in there with him. He was raking on some trees this morning, so he's starting to get a little fired up. So hopefully he'll get out and do the same thing he did last night, where we first picked him up on that ridge line. He'll move around and feed in there, and we can send a bullet at him. Stay tuned. All right, evening 5. We're gonna go get set back up on, I've called them prime time. That thickest mass 4x4 we've seen set up on him. If he comes out, I'm gonna check him over one more time. Try to decide if it's a deer shape that I don't have. I'm thinking about pounding him, If it doesn't work out tonight, we're going to go after cheese dip in the morning and get him instead. So it's kind of nice to have two options. So we know where he went into the crack and bet it with all his buddies in there. So hopefully he'll come out and do the same routine last night. He's not going to give us a lot of time. He didn't show up last night till like 6:55. Came out of that crack. So we'll get at least 5-10 minutes to look him over, and then we'll have enough shooting light to put him down if that's the one we want to go after. I'm waiting for somebody to give me a thumbs up, but no one's telling me to shoot or not. So I guess it's gonna be a standalone decision on my part tonight. So we could have a deer on the ground tonight. Gotta set up where we put him to bed this morning. I doubt he's come out of that crack because it's been so hot during the day, so I'm sure they're all tucked in that deep little crack there. It's much cooler in those. So last night his buddies came out around 6:40, and then he showed up on the top of the little rise at like 6:55. So I think I haven't ranged it yet, but I think we're right around 400 yards if he comes up to where he was last night. Or if he just goes up on that side of the hill over there, it's going to be a little further poke, like 580. So we'll see where he comes out, but we're here. Plenty of time. It's 5 o'clock right now, or 5:30. So we'll just kind of sit and glass and pick it apart and see when they first get up out of bed. Hold on, wait till he clears that tree. Middle of the body.
Hit him. You drilled him.
You go down?
No.
Where is he?
Let's see him. Don't see him. Buddies are looking back in there.
He came out. Didn't come the way we thought he was going to come. He went further out. So I think he was at like 6'10". I adjusted, saw him hit, kicked the right leg out, facing broadside from left to right. Went down into the crack. The other deer came up. They were looking back like he had went down in there. But then all of a sudden, another buck came up like a freaking doppelganger of him. And didn't even look like he was hit. But we saw that bullet. We just watched the film again, and it hit him. And like I say, he kicked that right leg out and went down. And now we just don't know if that was the same buck, or was there two identical bucks in there? So I don't know what we're going to do. If we go over in the dark, it's going to be hard as hell to try to find that spot in the dark tonight. So I don't know. I'm frustrated and confused, so I don't know what to do right now. Alright. I looked at it on the camera and the spotting scope, and we just can't tell if it looks like it hit him high in that vacant spot right above the shoulder in there. I don't know. Get back to camp and try to decide what we want to do. I don't want to go over there in the night and try to find blood tonight. So we'll go back and try to look at it really slow motion and see. I mean, you can see the whole side shutter. I just can't tell where the bullet went in and if it was a little high above there or not. So we're going to head back to camp, review film, and then try to figure out what we want to do in the morning. He went up into another drainage around the corner that's even thicker with his buddies. So I don't know if he'll stay there or he'll get out of this area altogether after that. I mean, he didn't bolt, but he trotted to get into safe zone up there. So we'll talk about it tonight and figure out what we're gonna do. All right, we're heading back in. Gonna try to pick that hillside apart where he went into last night. We watched the footage over and over last night, and it looks like it went into that vacant gap above his shoulder. Doesn't look to be a lethal kill, so he's probably gonna live. But we're still gonna go up here, glass this morning, see if he's out wandering around anywhere and try to get a kill shot on him. If not, we're gonna go check where we hit him, see if we can get on a blood trail, follow him into where we last saw him go into that thick canyon and all the pinyons. Hopefully it's a productive morning and a good morning putting this guy down. Like I say, he's not going to die from that shot last night, but I don't like even having that on my conscience. So hopefully we can find him today and finish this thing off. Shane found him cutting across the top up there, limping. And like I say, I don't know if it's going to be a fatal shot, but he's moved around a lot this morning, so we can't figure out what the hell he was doing. Came down a ridge over here, found a little shaded bowl, basically with nothing on it, but maybe it's deeper than we can think from this side. Shane said he went down inside there. So we're going to cut our way across, try to get to the edge where the junipers are, take a look down there and see if we can find him down in there. We want to try to finish the work on this buck. So, I mean, like I say, watching him, he's just in a lot of pain today, so he wasn't going to die from that shot, but we would prefer to finish that deer off since he's injured. So that's our target.
Dad, come in between the juniper right here. It's got bushes in front of it. See those right there? I think you can squeeze it in there, really. Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Get another one loaded, Dad. He didn't move. I don't know if you hit him or what. Get another one loaded. He's moving up the hill.
Not sure why Shane's making me do this, but I'm going to tell you, all these shots being high, my fault. Instead of on my stop 0, I was full revolution all the way around to 0 again, which I thought I was on 0, and then I obviously didn't go to the stop 0 that the scopes are built for. Somewhere during the chaos yesterday, I must have thought I was on 0. Started from full revolution 0, from there, which now that'll explain why I was high last night. Again, right now, laying in that bed at 250, I was high. So we just came down here on the way back to the car before I have a garbage sale and get rid of all my stuff to Scott. We shot here. Shane was high. Then he started playing with the top dial. Realized that I was not on the stop 0. I was on the 0 after a full revolution. We dialed at 0 and I just shot. Hit it right where it was supposed to be. So these screw-ups were completely my fault. And I was not on 0. When I started going to my set points that Shane was giving me for yardage, I don't know how many more times this deer is going to give us a chance at him. I mean, that was freaking like out of a movie. Crack, laying in the bottom, laying still, right in a little green patch tucked behind a tree. It was like you see in these videos, and we set up on him. I was going to have to sneak it in right around the back and just take a back shot at him, but it still would have, at that distance, would have messed him up pretty good in there and wouldn't have had to worry about it, but went right over him. So now we watched him go over to the front where we've seen bucks go before, so I guess we'll go back, pack up some lunch, figure out a strategy. If we can find him over there where we've been seeing bucks cross, it seems like it's the same spot, so now we just got to figure out how to get in there, and hopefully now he'll give me a chance, and I will make sure this is on 0 before we get going again for the evening hunt. Hang in there, we might get this done. Okay, so we're going over here where he last disappeared on us when he went over the ridge. We think there's a big pocket of cedars in this bowl back here, so we're thinking that's where he might have gone. I don't know, the way he was moving. Who knows if he ever stopped? He could be in a different unit by now, but we're gonna work our way up on the top of this thing so we can glass down into this bowl. Looks like we might be getting some weather later today, so it's cooler right now, so maybe they'll be up earlier than 7 o'clock finally. So we're gonna work our way up, and I think I got all my mistakes out of the way, so we're gonna make this happen tonight. I promised a lot of people we'd have a deer on the ground tonight, so it's happening. All right, my freak son found him again. Bedded under a juniper 540 yards away. The wind is just howling up here today. I do not want to take that shot from this distance, so we're trying to decide if I want to go that way around the back of that. And then if he stands, it'd be only like 350 in that clump. Because we're worried if he gets up, he goes out the back, we're not going to see him anymore. So we're trying to decide what to do. It's probably like 5:30 right now, so we gotta try to make a decision which way we want to go. But I can't believe Shane found him again under there. There's a little strip of J&B right on this spine, and he's laying in there looking this way. So I'm not sure if he's gonna go out the back tonight or come this way. So we're gonna talk it over and figure out what to do. Is that him? I see the brown thing right there. He's dead. I told you guys prime time was going. What was he at? 450, trotting away. Into my mind, I said, boom, boom, swag. Shane said he's down. And I looked through the scope again, he was struggling like this. And he fell over. Prime time no more. My time. He won't get nowhere this time. Oh, dude, what a find under that tree. Good. Excellent. Me and Shane have worked for this bad boy.